Section 6 then comes on to 6, 7 and 8 are all about content of commercial communication, the actual advertising piece, what's said, what's advertised. Section 6 deals with just general rules, and the first thing to mention here is that a lot of this is actually taken, and what is in the CAP code is mirrored in our code as well. So the 4 main tenets of the CAP code, if you remember nothing else about the CAP code, remember that in everything you need to do, you need to be legal, decent, honest and truthful. If you do all of that, then usually you'll be fine. The distance selling regulations are also included within this section, and this is the regulations that govern any selling which is not face-to-face, so it could be on the telephone or online, and it involves the information that needs to be provided. For example, before the conclusion of a contract, you must provide the company name, a terrestrial address, a phone number, things like how the product is going to be delivered, informing consumers of their right to cancel, whether there's any geographic or time restrictions, substitutions if appropriate, what are you going to provide if the goods are faulty or unavailable, etc., and how to pay. There is also something that we've included in the new code, which came in 2008, the Consumer Protection from Unfair Trading Regulations, or CPRs, which I mentioned a little bit earlier in the talk. And this looks at, again, false misleading advertising, so similar to the CAP code, but looks at sales techniques that were inducing fear, distress, playing on the ignorance of people in order to get them to buy. Also covers, there is a clause now that covers persistent and unwanted solicitations, be they by phone, fax, face-to-face, however they're actually being done. After sales service, there is a new clause in there in the code now which looks at the after sales service. If the after sales service was not available in the language of the marketing communication, then this needs to be made clear before the purchase goes through. We've also got something there on the network marketing, and this is which I'm sure you will have heard of, the pyramid, the dreaded pyramid schemes, where you earn more money by recruiting other members and not by selling products. And obviously this is outlawed within the code and the legislation as well. Other parts of section 6, use of testimonials. If you're going to use testimonials in any promotions, adverts, they must be validated, substantiated, they must be relevant. You can't use something that somebody said 10 years ago. With guarantees, again, if you're going to use guarantees, and the full terms and conditions must be made available for the commitment to purchase. Clear pricing, using the words up to and from. You've got to be very, very careful where you use this terminology. Don't exaggerate the benefits to the consumer. And also, if the price is dependent on other purchases, you need to make this very, very clear. Post and packaging charges, are they inclusive, are they exclusive? Again, make that clear. Where I've got availability of goods or switch selling, this is where switch selling occurs where a consumer requests to see a certain product and the sales person refuses to show them that certain product, explaining that it might be faulty or out of stock, in order to get them to buy a more expensive product. So this technique is banned. It's also important to not lead customers on. You should only advertise goods if you have a reasonable expectation of being able to supply those goods, that stock levels are sufficient. And if you are creating a campaign to assess demand for a particular product, then that must again be made clear that it is a full demand assessment and the product isn't actually for sale. Use of comparisons, if you're going to use comparisons, and many companies do, again, similar rules apply. Don't mislead. Be clear as to the fact that these are similar goods or services. Don't try and confuse companies, don't muddy the waters. Don't denigrate or discredit any competitors. That can lead to a whole host of problems. And be objective and be relevant.